welcome to your favorite, the NDTV Auto Show. Let me first tell you what all are we covering today. We will review the new Maruti Swift Dzire. We'll get you the test ride of Ducati DesertX. And we'll compare newly launched Tata Curvv with the segment leader Hyundai Creta. KTM made a big splash with a slew of premium bike launches. We will get you all the details. Maruti Suzuki has launched the 4th generation of its compact sedan, Dzire. Join me as I take you on a detailed review. Earlier, we have seen that Dzire was based primarily on Swift. Right now also, the platform is the same, but the design has taken a completely new turn. There is very little of Swift that you can see, at least right in the front. ही flattish grill दिखाई दे रहा है, काफी बड़े साइज का है. इनफैक्ट मुझे थोड़ी सी इनोवा के ग्रिल की याद दिलाता है. Maruti is calling these LED crystal vision headlamps. You get your straight DRLs here. और सरप्राइजिंगली यहाँ पर आपको टर्न इंडिकेटर हैलोजन मिल रहे हैं, हालांकि फॉग लैंप नीचे LED है. तो यहाँ पर आपको 15 इंच के व्हील्स मिल रहे हैं. ये डुअल डायमंड कट एलॉयज देखने में अच्छे लगते हैं. और यहाँ पर आपको इसका ये कूपे रूफ लाइन नजर आएगी. यहाँ पर जो टेल लैंप है इनमें भी 3D इफेक्ट है. यहाँ पर आपको बूट लिड पर ये स्पॉइलर इफेक्ट मिल जाता है. 382 लीटर्स का बूट स्पेस मिल रहा है, जो कि पहले के मुकाबले थोड़ा बढ़ गया है. और अगर आप सेगमेंट में भी कंपेयर करें तो ये अच्छा बूट स्पेस माना जाएगा. ग्राउंड क्लियरेंस भी पहले के जैसे ही 163 mm आपको मिलती है. सो नाउ यू गेट दिस 9 इंच टच स्क्रीन विद सुजुकी कनेक्ट, वायरलेस एप्पल कारप्ले, एंड्रॉइड ऑटो, 360-degree camera, and the 360-degree camera's output is pretty decent. यहाँ पर ये satin finish आपको दिखाई दे रही है और ये wood looking पैनल भी दिया गया है. ये है तो प्लास्टिक, लेकिन इसको लुक थोड़ा सा वुड दिया गया है. यहाँ पर जो प्लास्टिक इंसर्ट है इसमें भी थोड़ा सा 3D टेक्सचर है. देखने में वो भी अच्छा लगता है. वो आपको यहाँ डोर में भी दिखाई देगा. स्टीयरिंग जो है वो यहाँ पर फ्लैट बॉटम है. यहाँ पर कुछ स्टीयरिंग माउंटेड कंट्रोल आपको मिल जाते हैं. और यहाँ पर भी ये सैटिन फिनिश का एक प्लास्टिक इंसर्ट दिया गया है, जिससे इसका जो लुक है वो थोड़ा सा इम्प्रूव पता चले. और एक बड़ा एडिशन जो कि पर्सनल बायर्स को पसंद आता है वो है सनरूफ. बहुत बड़े साइज का सनरूफ ये नहीं है, छोटे साइज का सनरूफ है, लेकिन आपको मिलता ज़रूर है यहाँ पर. बट एक चीज़ जो आप मिस करेंगे जब आप अपनी लॉन्ग ड्राइव पर जाएंगे वो है यहाँ पर सेंट्रल आर्मरेस्ट. सेंट्रल आर्मरेस्ट आपको इस गाड़ी में नहीं मिल रहा, लेकिन रियर पैसेंजर को सेंट्रल आर्मरेस्ट मिल जाता है. बट जो मिडिल पैसेंजर है उसको हेडरेस्ट नहीं मिलता. मूवेबल या फिर इमूवेबल कोई भी हेडरेस्ट नहीं मिल रहा. हाँ, 3-point सीट बेल्ट जरूर मिल जाती है. यहाँ पर आपको AC वेंट्स मिल जाते हैं और साथ ही टाइप A और टाइप C चार्जिंग पॉइंट मिल जाता है. और यहाँ पर चार्जिंग करते वक्त आप अपना फ़ोन रख सकते हैं. मेरी हाइट 5'7" है और उसके बाद यहाँ पर अच्छा खासा स्पेस मुझे मिल जाता है. फुट स्पेस भी अच्छा है. जो आगे वाली सीट है उसके नीचे अच्छी जगह है, तो पैर आराम से आगे करके बैठा जा सकता है. थाई सपोर्ट भी ठीक ठाक है. Well, the exterior looks have changed. The interiors are different compared to Swift, but what hasn't changed is the engine. You get the same engine that you get in the Swift, the 1.2-liter Z-Series engine, 3-cylinder engine, which gives you around 83 HP power and 112 Nm of torque. Company says the Dzire will give you a fuel efficiency of 24.7 kpl for petrol and for CNG over 33 kilometers per kilogram. Now let me first talk about what I like about Desire's drive. शहर के लिए इसकी राइड क्वालिटी बिल्कुल परफेक्ट है. थोड़ी सॉफ्ट साइड पर है और स्पीड ब्रेकर से निकलना हो या फिर रंबल स्ट्रिप्स क्रॉस करने हो या फिर ख़राब रास्तों से इसको जूझना हो, उन सारी सिचुएशंस में ये गाड़ी के ऑक्यूपेंट्स को कंफर्टेबल रखेगी. रोड में जो थोड़ी बहुत खराबी है वो आपको पता भले ही चल जाए, अनकंफर्टेबल बिल्कुल नहीं लगेगी. What I also like is, despite the fact that this is a 3-cylinder engine, it's not too noisy unless and until you push it hard. When you push it hard, then you will be able to hear some engine noise. लेकिन vibrations आपको ज़रूर पता चलेंगे. वैसे तो ये 3-cylinder 1.2 लीटर नेचुरली एस्पिरेटेड इंजन है, लेकिन अच्छी बात यह है कि लो एंड का जो इसका परफॉर्मेंस है वो अच्छा है. तो जब आप गाड़ी स्टार्ट करते हैं जो इसका पिकअप है वो बढ़िया होता है, लेकिन जब ये हायर रेव रेंज में पहुंचती है तब ये थोड़ा सा फ्लैट हो जाता है। अब ये AMG गियर बॉक्स पहले के कंपैरिजन में ज़्यादा स्मूथ पता चलता है। AMTs बहुत स्मूथ होते नहीं है, थोड़ा जर्की तो वो होते ही होते हैं और वो जर्क्स आपको इस गाड़ी में भी पता चलेंगे, लेकिन पहले के मुकाबले काफ़ी ज़्यादा स्मूथ डाउन हो जाते हैं, स्पेशली अगर आप इस गाड़ी को बहुत ज़्यादा पुश नहीं कर रहे हैं। आई थिंक डिज़ायर की राइड सबसे बेहतर तभी निकल कर आएगी जब आप इसे थोड़ा आराम से प्यार से चलाएं। I don't particularly like the steering of the Dzire, ये थोड़ा सा लैकलस्टर है, लेकिन इसका पॉजिटिव साइड ये है कि अगर आप शहर में चला रहे हैं बहुत ज़्यादा देर तो भी आपको थकाएगा नहीं। थोड़ा सा हेफ्ट इसमें ऐड हो जाता है जब आप स्पीड पर करते हैं, लेकिन फिर भी बहुत ज़्यादा फीडबैक आपको स्टीयरिंग से नहीं मिलता है। What will work in Desire's favor the most is that in the entire lineup of Maruti, this is the first vehicle to get 5-star in global NCAP crash test. Maruti Suzuki has often faced criticism on safety, and Dzire manages to thwart some of that with the crash test rating. It gets 6 airbags, ABS with electronic brake distribution, ESP, hill hold, 3-point seat belt and reverse parking sensor as standard safety features. Top variant also gets 360-degree camera. But more features and safety equipment has had an impact on prices too. Top variant की कीमत अब पहले से करीब 1 लाख रुपए ज्यादा है। Dzire की प्राइसेस शुरू होती हैं 6.79 लाख से, जाती हैं 10.14 लाख तक।
Let me begin by telling you that the Ducati DesertX Rally, yes, that's what we are riding today. It is a very focused, very niche machine. And you should only consider purchasing one if you are into off-road motorcycling very seriously or you have mad riding skills. Think of the DesertX Rally as a more hardcore rally-bred version of the DesertX with some top-shelf off-road equipment. Right, the Ducati DesertX Rally cuts a striking pose. I mean, look at it. It is an obnoxiously tall motorcycle. The seat height is a massive 910 millimeters, perhaps one of the tallest on any production motorcycle, and it weighs in at 220 plus kg with fuel. So ergonomically it can be a nightmare if you're not used to tall and heavy motorcycles. There are 6 riding modes, 4 for the road and 2 for off-road, in addition to the variety of adjustments possible. Then there's adjustable engine brake control and wheelie control as per the usual. In the off-road modes, you can switch off ABS and traction control on the rear wheel for better control. The Enduro mode offers 75 horsepower, which is more than enough to tackle tough and technical terrain. Then you also get a 5-inch TFT screen, which is the same as seen on the DesertX. Coming to the engine, the DX Rally gets the same 937cc L-twin Testa Stretta motor as seen on a bunch of other Ducati bikes. The motor makes 110 horsepower at 9250 rpm and 92 Newton meters of peak torque at 6500 rpm. The engine is paired to a 6-speed gearbox with a bi-directional quick shifter as standard fitment. On the road, the Ducati DesertX Rally feels comfortable and dialed in, but the rally seat might not be as comfortable as the seat on the standard Ducati DesertX for long distance touring. The 937cc L-twin Testa Stretta motor has enough power and torque in it to keep you cruising at triple-digit speeds all day long, and even at lower speeds, it has enough poke and grunt for you to make those overtaking maneuvers. There's no terrain that can intimidate the Ducati DesertX Rally. Well, look at where we are right now, and today we took on all kinds of gnarly terrain, rock, mud, dirt, jumps and whatnot. It was almost as if the motorcycle was whispering in my ear, "Is that all you got?" Well, the only thing limiting the performance of the DX Rally is my own capability. In the hands of a seasoned off-road rider, the Ducati DesertX Rally is the best middleweight adventure bike that you can buy in India today. The Hyundai Creta has been a segment leader for the longest time now. Ever since it was launched, it has been the benchmark for compact SUVs with its nice mix of performance, powertrain options, features and practicality. But now, Tata Motors has entered the fray with the coupe SUV Tata Curvv. Yes, it is a unique proposition, but the big question here is whether the Tata Curvv has the goods to take on the Hyundai Creta, which has been the best selling model in the segment, or will it be just a blip in the radar? Yes, it is time for the champion and the challenger to square off and get going. Oh well, it is an easy decision in my mind. The Tata Curvv is easily the better looking SUV of the two, with its unique coupe design and a tall stance. The Creta facelift, with its parametric details up front and a more angular design than before, makes its presence felt as a modern urban SUV. So the Creta claws back some ground with its airy cabin and well appointed interior, right? So the view from the driver's perch is quite nice. The steering feels chunky to hold, and the seats themselves are very comfortable. And if you are spending long hours driving the car or even sitting, well, you'll be comfortable on that. Now on to the rear seat. There's enough headroom. There's decent knee room as well. 3 adults can sit abreast comfortably, and if you want, you can recline the rear seat as well. So you get the recline function as well, but the middle passenger does not get headrest like the other 2 passengers get, and you do have a armrest with cup holders, so that's a nice touch. Along with that, you also get rear AC vents and charging ports and a small cubby hole to keep your phone, wallet and other knickknacks like that. Another highlight is the fact that the rear passengers get a sun blind. So when it comes to the comfort of the rear passenger in the Creta, well, that's a definite focus, and it does a better job of keeping the passengers at the rear in comfort than the Tata Curvv. The cabin of the Tata Curvv gives a premium feel along with some pop and color, especially with its rich burgundy leatherette upholstery. The front seats are comfy, and you seem to sit taller with better visibility from the driver's perch. But the one issue is that visibility from the IRVM isn't that great thanks to the small rear windscreen. On the rear seat, you will notice that the Curvv has decidedly lesser headroom and knee room than the Creta. The headroom is compromised because of the sloped roofline, but we expected better knee room for sure. 3 people can sit at the rear, but they will be comfier in the Creta. There are a few ergonomic issues in the Tata as well. There is hardly any space to keep your phones and knickknacks up front, and the access to the USB port and 12-volt socket is not exactly easy. The center armrest is quite short and is not movable. Plus, the storage below it is small too. And giving cup holders in the glove box, well, not the smartest move. The Curvv gets the bigger boot at 500 liters along with an electric boot lid and a gesture control to open the same. The Creta gets a 433 liter boot space, which is significantly lesser. The loading lip for both is on the higher side, and 60-40 split for the rear seats is common. So the round 2 clearly goes to the Hyundai Creta with better storage options and sound ergonomics. That is, until the boot space came into the picture. We will still give this round to the Creta. Features like wireless smartphone connectivity, ventilated front seats, electric adjustment for the driver's seat, 360-degree camera, panoramic sunroof, all these features are common to both SUVs, the Creta and the Curvv, but the Creta misses out on wireless smartphone connectivity, which the Tata Curvv gets. Like we said earlier, the cabin of the Creta is well appointed, and we particularly like this feature. The twin screen setup, bezel-less, gives you a nice premium feel, and the readouts are quite sharp, crisp and big enough for you to read on the go. Apart from that, the other feature that is worth noting is the 2-zone climate control. So the Tata Curvv gets a 12.3-inch touchscreen infotainment system, crisp, easy to use, and like we told you earlier, it also gets wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and the digital instrument console that you see in the front, well, the view is nice, but the readouts could have been slightly better, slightly bigger. And if you want, you can also portray the navigation screen in the digital instrument console so that you absolutely don't have to take your eyes off the wheel while driving. That's a nice feature to have, which the Creta misses out on. And if we consider all the features, the entire feature set of both cars, I think it is fair to call it a tie. Tata offers 3 engine options on the Curvv, which are the 1.2-litre naturally aspirated petrol, 1.2-litre turbo petrol and the 1.5-litre diesel engine. The Creta, on the other hand, gets a 1.5-litre naturally aspirated petrol, a 1.5-litre turbo petrol and a 1.5-litre diesel. Both cars get various automatic options as well. So we are driving the Curvv with the 1.5-litre turbo diesel engine and a dual clutch automatic gearbox. Yes, this is the first time we have seen or heard of this combination in this segment. We have seen this combination in the premium German SUVs like the Audi Q3 and the Volkswagen Tiguan when it used to come with a diesel engine. But in this segment, this is the first time we are seeing it. And well, this particular combination, the engine and the gearbox, it does seem to work well. Below 2000 RPM, there is a hint of turbo lag, but the moment you cross the 2000 RPM mark, the engine comes into its own and it gives you that solid torque pull in the mid-range, which continues all the way till the top end. So if you're driving this car on the highway, you'll be very, very happy. And the 7-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox itself, it is not as smooth as the European models had, but it does the job and the shifts are seamless. So to say, what could have been better is the fact that when you're driving this car in peak traffic, in bumper to bumper traffic, the gearbox tends to keep shifting between the first and second gears, which means you have this jerking movement and there's significant head nod. But overall, the driving dynamics of the Tata Curvv is quite nice. The ride quality is really, really good. It's very, very plush. And if you try and take fast corners on the Tata Curvv, you will feel a bit of body roll, but it handles well. No complaints whatsoever. The Creta 2 offers decent performance with a good mid-range and top end. It works really nicely as an urban runabout and on the highway as well. The engine feels smoother than that of the Curvv, and the Creta is a shade quicker when it comes to building up speed. The ride is plush, slightly on the firmer side, but it feels better at higher speeds. Handling is decent and the Creta won't feel out of place on twisties. For the more performance-focused buyers, the Creta is offered in an N-line trim as well. The engine and the driving experience is where the Creta wins with the narrowest of margins, while in terms of handling and ride quality, it is the Curvv which wins and claws back some ground. Both cars are evenly matched when it comes to efficiency. But the Curvv just about edges out the Creta in this round thanks to the diesel DCT combination. Now both the Creta and the Curvv get 15 plus level 2 ADAS features. So like you can see here, quite a few ADAS features here. And other common safety features include 6 airbags as standard, vehicle stability management, ABS, traction control and so on and so forth. But the one area where the Curvv scores higher is the fact that it gets a 5-star crash test rating from Bharat NCAP, while the Creta is yet to be tested by Bharat NCAP. So that's another round going to Tata in terms of safety. Coming to the pricing, prices of the Creta start from 10,99,000 rupees and go up to 20,30,000 rupees. On the other hand, prices of the Curvv start at 9,99,000 rupees and go up to 18,99,000 rupees. All prices are ex-showroom Delhi. The starting prices are a lakh lesser on the Curvv, and there is a difference of 1.3 lakh rupees between the top variants of the two cars. Also, the prices of the diesel Curvv with the DCA gearbox start at 14 lakh rupees, which offers more options to the customers who want a diesel automatic. Other models in the same segment are the Kia Seltos, Citroën Basalt, Volkswagen Tiguan, Nissan Magnite, Renault Kiger, Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara and the Honda Elevate. So we had 6 rounds of intense competition between the Curvv and the Creta, and well, the Creta won the cabin space and ergonomics round, and the features round was a tie. The other rounds went to the Tata Curvv, and honestly we're not surprised because Tata has been upping its game in the passenger vehicles department for quite a few years now, and the Curvv is the embodiment of it. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment that many motorcycle enthusiasts have been waiting in India for. KTM has finally launched its big motorcycle range in India, and this right here is the KTM 1390 Super Duke R. The presence, the design, the looks, it's absolutely beautiful, it's razor sharp, and this can be yours for 23 lakh rupees ex-showroom. Yes, it gets a LC8 V12 engine, 190 horsepower, 145 Newton meters of peak torque, and it's loaded with electronics. So this behemoth of a motorcycle is the KTM 1290 Super Adventure S. Now the S means that this is not like an off-road biased motorcycle. It is a sport touring machine, so that's why you see the alloy wheels there. Now this gets a 1350cc 75 degree V12 engine, makes about 160 horsepower, 138 Newton meters of peak torque, and weighs close to 220 kg, gets a 6-speed gearbox with bi-directional quick shift and standard. Another important detail that you see here is this radar, which means the motorcycle gets adaptive cruise control. Yes, you can switch on the cruise control, and if a vehicle in front of you slows down, then the motorcycle slows down, brakes all by itself. So that would be a nice convenience feature to have if you buy this motorcycle. And if you really want to buy this, you'll have to shell out close to 23 lakh rupees, 22 lakh 74,000 to be precise, ex-showroom. And the fourth motorcycle that we have today is the KTM 890 Duke R. Now this is what KTM calls the scalpel. It gets an 889cc parallel twin motor, makes about 121 horsepower, 99 Newton meters of peak torque, 6-speed gearbox, of course bi-directional quick shifter, and yes, it has a tall seat height of 834 millimeters, and this looks absolutely gorgeous. It is priced at 14.5 lakh rupees ex-showroom. So yes, it is expensive. This is the 890 Adventure R. Yes, it's a middleweight adventure motorcycle taking on the likes of the Triumph Tiger 900 and the BMW F900 GS. It's priced at 15 lakh 80,000 rupees. Gets a parallel twin engine, makes about 105 horsepower and 100 Newton meters of peak torque, gets a 6-speed gearbox, bi-directional quick shifter is standard, and this is an off-road focused motorcycle. Now we come to the enduro and the motocross motorcycles that KTM has launched today. This here is the KTM 450 SXF, and this right here is the KTM 350 EXCF 6 days. Now this is an enduro motorcycle, which means you can ride this motorcycle if you have a private property on off-road trails and so on and so forth. And this here is a motocross unit. So if you want to take part in motocross races, if you want to just go high and jump, so you buy this motorcycle. And of course, look at this, really slim bodywork, very light. And KTM says that this motorcycle has the most powerful engine in its class. KTM 450 SSF is priced at 10.25 lakh rupees, and the 6 days enduro is priced at 12 lakh 96,000 rupees. This is the KTM 50 SX and this is the KTM 85 SX. Both these motorcycles are dirt bikes. These are not toys, and these are meant for children. So if you wish to inculcate the love of riding, dirt biking and motorsport in your children from a very young age, then these two motorcycles should be your choice. Now this one is priced at 4,75,000 rupees and this here is priced at 6,70,000 rupees.
Well, that's all for today, but you can join us on our YouTube channel NDTV Auto, where we get a lot of content from Auto World. You can also join us on your favorite social media platform. Till we meet again, drive safe, always wear seatbelt when you are in the car and wear your helmet when you're riding. Take care, see you next week.